What was the hardest thing for you to quit?
Um, like that moment where you're crying and then you're like, I'm clearly torn up about this thing that I'm worried about, sad about, disappointed about. And then you go and reach for your phone and you're like, I need to share this with the world. That's a weird moment.
I'd rather than cry in person.
There's nothing wrong with crying. It's just a weird thing to be like totally torn up. And then you're like, wait, where's my phone?
Yeah.
People have to see this.
Yeah, it happens a lot though.
It's
a cry for attention.
I haven't seen anyone cry in my story in a long time.
Oh my gosh.
You see it a lot more than me?
Oh yeah.
I don't know why that's funny.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I can't even tell the story because if this person watches, then they'll know it's them. But something happened to them and they set up the phone and put the phone on a tripod.
No.
And did 10 stories in a row and they were just crying the whole time.
That's crazy.
You're not even holding it. You set it up to talk about this thing that happened and then end up crying the whole time and still post it.
I've never done that.
No.
Now, I would assume that if I did try and do that, I think I would just stop crying. I don't think I could keep crying. You know what I mean?
Or you just wouldn't post it. You still have to hit post.
Yeah, that too. There's a lot of steps there that are what?
Yeah.
But I just think if I put the camera up and then started to record, I think it would change my emotional demeanor. I'd be like, now I'm thinking about content. I'm not thinking about what I don't know. It's just weird, man. It seems fake.
I agree.
It just seems so
fake. Agree. But they're actually genuinely crying.
I guess.
They're just my phone makes me feel better. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, that's weird.
Or I need the attention or something. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Okay, did you get some cues? I got questions.
Okay, you go first.
There's some good ones in here.
Okay.
There's a funny one. Adam Katz. Is fitness deep state real? And and why is Stay Peaked its greatest threat?
I mean, that's a good question. You started with the best question.
There's layers to this.
Fitness deep state.
Well, it's a two-parter.
Oh,
it's a two-parter. Break it down.
Okay. I mean, are we just exposing the deep state?
Is fitness deep state real? Ready for this?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's not. And why is Stay Peaked its greatest threat? Because
it's not.
Because we're exposing the upper elites.
Whistleblowers.
We're whistleblowers of the fitness elite.
That's crazy. I like that question.
That was good. Nice job, Adam Katz.
So he was not. Was that a joke though? Because that's a serious question.
Yeah, that's not a joke. Stop laughing. That was serious. Okay, second question.
Okay.
Advice on becoming a PT, personal trainer. Question mark.
That's not a bad question at all.
It's a good question. It's not a joke. It's serious. So take it serious.
I do take it seriously.
Okay, good.
I love being a PT.
What's your advice?
See, the thing that people don't know about PTs is we make pretty good money. No one ever talks about that. Everyone's just like, oh, you're just a personal trainer.
That's true.
It's not yeah, bro, I can make, working for myself, I could charge 120, 140, 180 an hour. I make my rates.
Right.
So it's someone slaving away, you're oh yeah, I'm making $40 to $60.
And there's more revenue streams than just training people in person for an hour.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's great. Advice. Just pick a, decently well-reviewed PT cert I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you should just kind of learn the basics. Even if you're an advanced lifter or someone that's trained a long time, it's good to just have a refresh. Especially I did like the
you did ACE?
What's the word I want? Ethics side of things, I guess.
Oh, sure.
And
best
business.
Practices.
Yeah. I did ACE, I did CanFit a long time ago. Just didn't finish it.
So your advice is get a certification.
Get a certification. Just start there. If you got to work at a corporate gym for a bit just to get your feet, like do the actual training, like train people and learn how to actually train people. Go to fitness conferences and learn. And then just know that there's avenues that you can go to like run your own business and make more money.
Yeah, and that'll come along with growth.
Right? And then as you grow too, you'll be a better trainer and you'll help more people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my biggest piece of advice, if I had to pick one, for people becoming a personal trainer would be don't look at it like, and you probably will, because it's just kind of part and parcel when you start out, but don't look at it like you're a rep counter or you are a workout maker. The art and science of personal training is in people. It's in your people skills. It's how you communicate. It's how you listen. It's how you dialogue. It's how you interact. And it's all just people skills. Personal training is all about people skills.
Literally forget everything I just said. That's the best advice.
Yeah, it is.
That's the best advice.
Because personal training is like on the surface, it's like, oh, so you make programs, you put people through workouts, they pay you, and then they see physical results. It's like, yeah, that's what we do. But the space in between is where the magic happens. It's like, it's in how because it's between humans, it's like, it's all about the emotions shared between those interactions. So I think that's like the absolute key, is like looking at it like you are now in the customer service business and you're now in a people-based business. So if you can improve your human skills, your person skills, your people skills, it's like you're going to be a really good trainer, regardless of your technical knowledge, which will improve with time. And you can do that with like various Con Ed stuff, Yeah, so that's easy to do. You can learn more in that regard. Not necessarily the harder part, but the more important part that brings a lot more ROI to what you can offer your clients, in my opinion, is just develop your people skills. Be better at managing people. Okay.
Boom.
That was from x_shredded_cheese. Shredded cheese. X-shredded cheese.
Extra shredded.
Is that what that means? Yeah,
so.
Maybe. Same person asked this. How do y'all feel about uncertified people training others and making profit? Of course. Is OFC, of course?
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird short form.
You just said ROI. People don't know what that means.
If they don't, then stop listening to this podcast or do a quick Google. It's a common acronym. How do y'all feel about uncertified people training others and making profit? I'm in a mood.
I was uncertified.
I think the question, I'm going to change their question, because I think what they meant to say, and I could be wrong,
is unqualified people.
Yeah, unqualified people.
Because people can be not certified, but definitely qualified.
Yeah, if you're not certified, I don't really care at all. The level to which I would care if someone's certified is if they work for my business and they're a coach at my fitness studio. And if they're not certified, then they don't have insurance. And if they don't have insurance, we got problems. So you have to be certified to work for me. So that's a problem. But yeah, but
so I don't care if they're uncertified, but if they work for me, they have to be.
Yes. So, but like, assuming you're not working for me, like, I don't know what your rules are with your employer. But as far as like people that are unqualified, I guess you'd have to determine what's unqualified, because it's like, I'm not even sure I have a problem with it, because it's like, how qualified was I when I started out? You kind of have to just dive in and be like, let me tackle this person and their problem. You know what I mean? And then go from there.
Yeah.
And you're kind of, especially when you're starting out, you're kind of always reaching. You're kind of always attacking problems that you actually have no business doing, but then it forces you to figure it out.
The issue is, I definitely think there's unqualified trainers for sure. There's also unqualified doctors, unqualified vets, unqualified, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you're going to find that in every single.
Yeah, but we do personal training. So I just want to know your thoughts on people in our industry.
I just think that like they'll eventually wean themselves out because people just won't stay with them.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if they're not good at their job, because that's the next level, is like, if they're unqualified and they're bad at what they do and they don't get better, then yeah, that kind of sucks. I feel bad for their clients.
They'll get outed by Goob.
Yeah, maybe. But to be honest, like without other context, I don't have a problem with people that are unqualified because they're probably just new and they need to figure it out. I'm changing the question. It's unqualified.
Okay.
Yeah. The uncertified, that doesn't help me. Unqualified. Better question.
Next question.
Yeah.
Next question.
So here's the rule moving forward. If your question sucks, I'm going to change it so that it's good.
So aggressive.
These are the rules from here on out. Okay. You heard it.
Are you going to ask them if they have insurance too?
Do you have insurance?
Yes.
Good. Dr. Kyle Aram. My favorite Lebanese man. Ethnically ambiguous. I'm not sure where he's from. How to improve gut health after antibiotics.
Oh, good
question. That's not something I'm particularly well versed in.
Wait, do you want to change that question? Or do you like that question?
That's fine. That covers, yeah. Because like I can give a general suggestion on what I would do personally.
Yeah, me too. So what would you do personally?
So I would finish the round of antibiotics, and then I would look to leverage fermented foods in my diet. So I would try and find things like kimchi, aged cheeses, sauerkraut, kefir, and probably yogurts and different like fermented.
Kefir?
Yeah, kefir, I think. That's how you're supposed to say it. I'm cultured, so.
That's funny because it is a culture.
There's layers to that one.
Woo!
And then I probably wouldn't rely as heavily on probiotic supplements, although they're like a valid tool here, but I would use them secondarily. I would primarily leverage fermented foods in my diet, and then if necessary, maybe do a month or two of like probiotic supplements. But I don't think I wouldn't lean into the supplements before the food, because that's the whole point of supplements, is they should be used secondarily to food.
So I would do the opposite.
Why?
So I would
make your case.
Because I worked in a pharmacy for 8 years, and then I worked in the natural health food sector. So just from studies and anecdotally what I've seen, what I would like to do is definitely finish the course of antibiotics. It doesn't matter if you're feeling better. Do the whole thing. Because that's how, obviously, antibiotic resistant bacteria form, is if you don't finish your course. As much as I don't like antibiotics. And then you get the 1 billion culture probiotic, which is extremely high. And you take it for 2 weeks, one a day for 2 weeks. They actually come. What's that? New Life? You know those probiotics in the boxes? There's like a blue one. There's a pink one.
I don't know. There's a million of those.
There's a purple one. It's 100 billion.
Okay.
So it comes
Renew Life.
Renew Life. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it comes in a 14-day supply for this purpose. And then I would do all the fermented foods.
Okay. Yeah, I disagree. I would do it backwards. Don't listen to Sam. Just kidding. Her advice is fine.
I think I'm more qualified.
You might be. I just think your answer is wrong. Okay.
We can agree to disagree.
No, this whole episode's actually going to be a debate on that. Second question.
Wait, do I have access to my phone? Can I pull up my studies?
No. Second, I don't want to hear any PubMed BS. Get out of here with your
PubMed.
Get out of here with your sources.
It's not PubMed.
Dr. Kyle Aram for the second question. How to break an ice cap addiction.
Ooh. Actually, I was talking to one of my clients about this today.
Invite all your friends and family over for an intervention, brother.
No, did you hear about the guy that just called 911 because Timmy's wouldn't give him a replacement ice cap? It's literally on 6Buzz.
Really?
He calls 911 and he goes, they're like, do you need police, ambulance, or whatever? He's like, police. And they're like, we're the police. Like, how can we help? And he's like,
we're the police.
And he's like, this is Toronto police. And he's like, well, I ordered an ice cap from Tim Hortons and They just won't give me a replacement. And they're like, do you need the number to our non-emergency line? And he's like, I think I'm okay. Literally, someone called 911 for that.
Did they have the recording? Is that why you heard that? Oh, that's hilarious.
So how to break. So this is one thing my old FM said that was actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, if you get a new client and they eat an extra large pizza to themselves every night, you wouldn't just tell them to stop eating pizza because they do it every night. You'd be like, okay, so for the next week or two, just order a large. For the next week or two after that, order a medium. Like you do it
taper
so that it's
gradual,
very consistent and not like completely overwhelming and cold turkey and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they're getting to the medium pizza, they've been working out. They probably feel a bit better and they're like, oh, I actually kind of, don't feel good eating this and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't actually know how much better they could feel because they're used to feeling like kind of like crappy all day because they're not feeling themselves right. Or moving their body.
Yeah.
So yeah, ice cap, same thing. So whatever size you get, just go one size lower for like a week.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
great advice.
Change it to skim milk from cream, and then
drop the size.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
So first you drop the size.
Oh, gotcha.
Then you make it a bit healthier.
Yeah.
And then eventually you do every other day, and then
sure.
You know what I mean? You just phase it out.
I think another way you could do it too is, and this wouldn't work for everybody, but if you are wanting to break an ice cap addiction, then there's probably an aspect about it that you don't like. That's why you want to break the addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something you don't like, then what I recommend, this has worked well for me. I've been addicted to many things, and I've also quit many things. So my little trick for doing that is to focus in on the thing or multiple things of that substance or habit or whatever I have that I'm addicted to that is negative and uncomfortable. So if there's something negative or uncomfortable about that addiction, focus in on it. Because what's going to happen is in that moment where you're like, you feel like you're drawn to it and nothing else can stop you, it's because in that moment you're like super dialed into how good it will feel. And you're only thinking about the positive.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like undeniable in your head at that moment how good it'll be for you at that time, which is why you choose it every time. So if you can shift that focus to the negative aspects, you can start to balance out that thought process, be more mindful, and then be like, oh yeah, get the foot in the door into that thought to actually let yourself be mindful and make a good decision to be like, I don't need this anymore. Or I don't need this at this time because I remember it made me feel like this, or I felt like this after. And yeah, it tasted pretty good when I had it, but like kind of felt like crap for like next few hours, and I didn't sleep that well. And man, I feel so good when I sleep. So actually I don't want to screw up with my sleep. So focus in on the negative and I'll help you.
What was the hardest thing for you to quit?
Marijuana was pretty insidious because it's kind of accessible and doesn't feel that intense. I don't know if that's the right word.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easy to like partake in small doses and then justify that it's okay. So that was like, and it's just more pervasive socially probably. So that was one of the harder ones. I think specifically when I used to smoke bongs and I would hit what people call poppers, right? Like the tobacco in like the first half of the bowl and then fill the rest with marijuana. That was like, I still think about that. That was like the ultimate, that was better than like any pain pills or anything else, which are like, feel pretty damn good. I think that was like the craziest thing, the craziest effect on my brain. That one grabbed my head and like grew roots. I was like, this is the perfect feeling.
Mm-hmm.
This is too good. So that was pretty hard to quit because I remember actually doing that. I remember making the shift from like smoking poppers and then being like, okay, I don't like how much tobacco I'm smoking, especially like with no filter. I'm just smoking tobacco through the bong. And I was like, I'm just going to try and just smoke like just straight weed. And switching from tobacco to just weed, it's like a whole new drug. So different. And that was hard. So that was a toughie. Yeah, you got any questions? Hopefully that helped some people, especially people that want to know about the deep state of fitness. They're definitely not real. Definitely don't exist. And
there's definitely no deep state.
And they're not bankrolling this podcast.
Who's the better driver?
Me.
Okay. On paper.
It's you.
In real life, it's you.
Yeah. I don't have a great driving record.
No.
At least between...
I guess I'm not that bad driver. I'm just a bit more fearful.
Between 18 and 23, those 5 years had a lot of marks for me.
Yeah, you're anyways. Okay. What's your thoughts on people start working out, now they're getting attention and pulling away from their loved one?
Whoa. That's heavy.
That's deep.
Like they're starting to look more attractive. What was the question about it?
Like, what's your thoughts?
Oh, thoughts
on people?
Those questions are so
They started
hard.
to work out. Now they're getting attention and they're pulling away from their loved one. And then the follow up to that was, I see it in the gym or attention online. Play into it. People stop it. Love your person.
Oh, she's seeing in other people. It's not like she's
people.
going through it, or he, or whoever wrote this.
I mean, it's just gonna happen because the internet is a thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, it makes it so much easier when your partner's going through a fitness change with you for that reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Thoughts on? It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
All right.
Rapping? Cool. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
I want you to wrap this.
I'm about to wrap.
Okay.
Thanks for listening or watching. You can follow us at Tim_MSHC. You can follow Sam at SlaysFit. You stop spitting into the mic?
I'm beatboxing.
And you can check out all the other shows before, wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks a lot for listening to the show.